He sits there, sipping his tea, never once looking at the servant who will end his life.
The dark-haired servant pours with perfect composure, the stream of green tea steady and silent.
300 years of rule ended by a drop of poison. I remember every traitor's face.
System alert. Daemon Lord memory. Intact 100%. The tea set gleams under lantern light. A weapon hidden in plain porcelain.
Another flawless service. You might be the only one in this estate who understands refinement.
Refinement. I served poison to kings before you were even a whisper in your mother's womb.
Bring the second pot. The visiting envoy must drink to my continued prosperity.
Soon, General. Soon you'll choke on your own celebration, exactly as I once did.
The servant bows. Behind his lowered lids, a violet eye burns with a vow the mountain estate cannot yet comprehend. Long before the tea ceremony, in the mountain estate, a coronation filled the underworld's great hall.
At last my rule is absolute. The seven kneel, and the eastern underworld bows.
The seven generals lifted ornate cups, their faces masks of fealty over hidden malice.
To the Demon Lord, may his shadow stretch eternal and his enemies wither at his feet.
A single hand tipped a vial, colorless, odorless, lethal, into the ceremonial sake.
The taste is wrong. A cold that seizes the throat.
Purple veins bloomed across the Demon Lord's neck as he clawed at his imperial robe. Not one general moved to help. They watched, silent and patient, as the strongest shinobi in history crumpled. Before his body cooled, the map was spread across the table. The Eastern Underworld was carved into 7 pieces. Thus did the Eastern Underworld fall, not by a blade, but by a toast. The darkness did not last. Consciousness returned in a cramped servant's room, the air thick with old straw and floor polish.
This is not the underworld. The ceiling is too low, the light too weak.
He looked down at his hands, small, pale, calloused in unfamiliar places.
This body is not mine, too young, too frail.
He stumbled to the water basin and leaned over. The reflection showed a stranger with ghostly skin, black hair with a purple streak, and one eye blazing violet.
The demon mark. My memory is intact. I am reborn.
A surge of cold fury coiled in his chest. Kazuya's estate. He recognized the mountain view from the window.
He thinks he killed me. He thinks he won. I will tear his world apart from within.
He straightened his servant's kimono. From this moment on, he was just Sota, the quiet, reliable boy. Each morning, he scrubbed corridors until his knees ached. No one looked at a servant's face.
The patrols shift at the hour of the boar. A 12-minute gap between the watchtowers.
He committed every guard rotation to memory, noting weak points invisible to the arrogant.
They trample these halls like gods. They forget that gods can bleed.
When the estate slept, he became a shadow, slipping through gardens and unlatched gates beyond the outer wall. He followed a pull colder than the mountain air. A cleft in the rock exhaled violet light. Demonic energy, raw and familiar, pulsed from deep within.
My power. It still lives here, waiting.
He did not step inside. Not yet. But the cold fury in his chest finally had a shape. The quiet servant had found the first piece of his vengeance. The next night, and every night after, he returned to the cleft in the rock. This time, he stepped through the veil of hanging vines and into the violet glow.
It knows me. The energy stirs like a sleeping beast recognizing its master.
He raised his palm, and the violet current leaped to meet him.
The meridian of the Demon Lord still remembers how to burn.
Each night he coaxed more of his old chakra awake, thread by thread.
Too much, too fast, and the estate's sensors will detect the surge. Patience.
Before the first patrol shift, he was back in his futon, a perfect servant once more.
Even now, I can feel the poison singing in my veins. Stronger each morning.
In the hidden grotto, a demon lord was rebuilding his throne, one stolen night at a time. Flawless tea, spotless floors, and a silence that never drew suspicion. Suda became the general's favorite attendant.
You are the only one who gets it right. Every cup, Every gesture, I should make you my personal aide.
Personal aid. Close enough to pour your poison whenever I choose.
Remember, boy, your comfort here depends on my mood. Keep it pleasant.
Suta pressed his forehead to the tatami, hiding the violet flash in his eye.
300 years ago, I would have made you kiss the floor, not bow to it.
As he straightened, his gaze caught the maid master in the doorway. Yuriko. Her eyes lingered on him with something unreadable.
That woman, I've never spoken to her. Yet something about the set of her shoulders stirs a ghost of a memory.
Yuriko gave a small, composed nod and turned away, the rustle of her kimono barely a whisper.
She sees too much. I'll have to watch her more carefully than the guards.
Suta began to watch Yuriko the way he had once watched enemy encampments, from the edges, silent and calculating.
She commands the other maids without raising her voice. Every gesture efficient, every word final. Not a common servant.
Once, as he passed with a tray, their eyes met, and for half a heartbeat, the air thickened.
Those eyes, I have seen them before. But where? The memory is smoke. I can't grasp it.
She tilted her head, the faintest curious pause, then continued her duties as if nothing had happened.
She's more dangerous than the general. He flaunts his power, she hides hers.
For the next 3 days, he catalogued her every habit. The hour she inspected the kitchens, the way her gaze always returned to him.
She's not reporting me. If she suspected, I'd already be in chains. So what does she want?
The ghost of familiarity wouldn't leave him. A concubine's smile, a servant's shadow. It hovered just outside memory's reach.
Until I know, I'll keep my demon eye dampened and my tongue sharper than a blade.
That night, he pushed deeper into the grotto's energy, drinking violet fire until his veins burned.
The power sings too sweetly tonight. I lost track of the hour.
As he slipped through the vine curtain, a patrol's lanterns bobbed around the corner. Too close, too soon.
12-minute gap, my mistake. The guard rotation changed early.
He pressed himself into a shadowed alcove, heart hammering, the violet glow behind his eyelids barely contained. The next morning, exhaustion made his hands clumsy. A tea jar slipped, but Yuriko's palm caught it before it shattered.
She moved without sound. No word of reprimand. Just nothing. Why?
When the kitchen supervisor noticed a missed tea stain, Yuriko bowed and claimed she had misinstructed the boy.
That's twice in one day she shielded me. This isn't kindness, it's leverage. Or recognition.
A debt he never asked for, now bound him to her silence, and the question burned hotter than any grotto flame. That night, sleep dragged him back to the underworld, to a chamber draped in crimson silk and memory.
The concubine who never asked for power, only for his shadow to fall on her shoulder.
He woke, gasping, the image of her gentle bow still sharp behind his eyelids.
The tilt of Yuriko's head. The way she tucks her thumb when she bows. Identical.
The maid master bore a crescent scar by her ear, exactly where an assassin's blade had grazed her in the old palace.
She died with me. I saw the general's soldiers cut her down, but if I can return, why not her?
He searched for proof, a keepsake, a hidden mark, any trinket from the old world, but the estate gave him nothing.
20 years. She's been waiting in this house for 20 years, always knowing I would return.
The pieces fit, but a single wrong word could shatter the silence. He had to hear it from her lips.
I will break my silence first, but not yet. Not until I am certain she isn't the trap.
A folded paper appeared under his tea tray. A single instruction. Storage room, hour of the dog. When he arrived, Yuriko stood in the dim light, her back to the door, the air heavy with withheld truth.
You can hide your eye from the general, but you cannot hide it from me, my lord. I am Yuriko, your concubine. I died in your palace, and I was reborn in the ashes of your kingdom. I recommended you to this estate. I waited 20 years for your soul to find a body again.
20 years. She didn't just survive. She built my return.
She reached out, fingertips brushing his cheek, the same gesture she had used to comfort him in the old palace.
No more solitary shadows. With her, I have the estate skeleton in my hands.
The same poison that killed you, my lord. I have kept the formula. We will serve it to them at their own banquet.
2 lifetimes of hatred, now braided into a single thread, and it tightened around the general's throat before he ever felt it. That night, in the violet-lit grotto, 2 shadows bent over a stolen map of the estate.
The general hosts a victory banquet in 10 days. Every captain, every trusted retainer will be present.
10 days. Enough to brew the poison. Not so long that suspicion has time to sprout.
I will prepare the formula, the very same that ended the demon lord. Colorless, odorless, slow and cruel.
And the antidote. Kazuya keeps a master herbalist. If anyone survives long enough.
I have replaced the key ingredients in the infirmary with worthless powder. There will be no antidote.
Even the sickbed will be a deathbed. She thinks of everything.
The plan drew tighter around the estate's throat with every whispered word.
You will serve the first cup, as always. I will see that no servant interferes. We will end them where they toast their false victories.
In 10 days, the banquet hall will look just like my coronation hall, full of traitors, drinking their last.
In a locked storehouse, Yuriko ground-dried wisteria root and foxglove petals under violet candlelight.
3 more nights, and the extract will be indistinguishable from spring water.
At dawn, Sauta passed Yuriko in the corridor, her right hand folded 2 fingers down. The grotto, tonight.
One slip of the hand, and the whole estate would ring with alarm. Yet she signs me like a dancer.
A week from today, I host the victory banquet. The entire household will drink to my name. Ensure the wine is perfect.
Perfect. The wine will be the last thing you taste.
The days bled into one another. Sauta polished floors, served tea, and smiled, a mask that never slipped.
The kitchens will be chaotic that night. I will clear the western corridor for 5 minutes, enough for you to pour unobserved.
5 minutes is a lifetime. In my old life, I conquered cities in less.
Night after night, the grotto swallowed their whispers, the weight of a decade-long promise trembling in every word. 3 days before the banquet, a retinue of shinobi from the western border crossed the estate gates, their general a stranger to the household's halls.
Another general. Not one of the 7 I knew, but his presence doubles the guards and doubles the guards and doubles the eyes.
Yuriko passed him in the corridor, her hand curling rapidly. Danger. Meet at the storehouse.
The western general brought 30 of his own men. They are searching the kitchens, the corridors. We should postpone.
Postpone? This was our one window. If we wait, the household scatters. We lose the mirror. My coronation, his banquet.
My lord, I have waited 20 years. I can wait another month. Please, do not let pride blind you to the new danger.
She is right. The risk is doubled, but the symmetry is sacred. I will not let a single stranger steal my revenge's perfect shape, number. We proceed. Adapt tonight. The western corridor plan holds. I will pour while you distract his men.
That evening, the visiting general toasted Kazuya's upcoming victory, his own voice adding to the noise Sauta intended to silence. Under the noise, 2 shadows adjusted their design, threading poison through a narrower needle, a needle pointed at the heart of the entire household. The grotto held its violet breath. The night before the banquet, 2 silhouettes returned to its heart, one last time.
The western general's men will be drawn to the eastern gate with a false alarm. Your corridor will be empty as promised.
Then there is nothing more to say about the plan. Only what we have never said in either lifetime.
I was afraid, my lord. Afraid you would never return. Afraid I had waited in vain.
I am here. And after tomorrow, his face will freeze in terror. The same terror I wore at my own coronation. We will be free of this mountain.
For 20 years, I have played the obedient maidmaster. Tomorrow, I will watch them choke, and I will not look away.
Her words, quiet as snowfall, struck deeper than any blade. 2 souls wronged by the same hands now stood as one before the crimson dawn.
She is the only one who understands. In another life, I might have called it love. In this one, it is something sharper, a vow carved in poison.
They did not embrace. They did not weep. Their bond was forged in colder fires, the heat of a promise that had waited 300 years to be kept. Above, the mountain winds stilled. The grotto seemed to listen, and in the silence, a demon lord and his most faithful shadow turned toward the dawn. The morning of the banquet, the estate transformed. Servants draped crimson banners, lanterns blazed even at noon, and the air grew thick with roasted meat and ceremonial sake.
Tonight, this hall will witness the glory of my name. Let every guest drink deep. No one leaves until the last barrel is empty.
The last cup you ever raise, I will make certain of it before the first star appears.
Suta moved through the chaos with his usual grace, arranging sake jars along the western corridor, where Yuriko's false alarm would soon draw every guard away.
The Eastern Gate alarm is ready. In 3 minutes, every outsider's man will turn his back on this hall.
The hall swelled with voices, captains, retainers, the foreign generals' officers. At the center, Kazuya lifted a golden goblet, his laughter cutting through the noise.
Cold glass against my wrist, odorless, colorless. They will swallow death and call it celebration.
From across the crowded room, Yuriko caught his eye, her fingers brushing her collar, the signal that the Eastern distraction was in motion.
The corridor empties. 5 minutes. I have done more in less.
He lifted the tray of first cups, the napkin draped to conceal the uncorked vial beneath. Step by step, he entered the silent servants' passage. In the narrow servants' passage, the noise of the banquet hall became a muffled roar. Suta walked alone, the tray heavy with fate.
Wisteria sap and foxglove, a colorless death, sweet enough to hide in the creamiest nachly.
With a thumb, he uncorked the vial behind the napkin's fold. A single drop, then 3, then 6, measured with a poisoner's exactness. No tremor in his fingers as he poured the tainted sake into the ceremonial cups, the first 4 at the tray's edge, intended for the general's table.
At last, the first cups. Bring them here. Let my trusted captains drink first, for their loyalty is beyond measure.
Suta bowed and moved to the table, distributing the cups with the same humble grace he had practiced 1,000 times. The foreign general accepted his cup without a glance. The captains raised theirs in salute. A dozen mouths parted, and the poison passed their lips.
The taste is the same. Odorless, colorless, and slow. Now the waiting begins.
Suta retreated to the servants' corner, hands folded. On the surface, a perfect attendant. Beneath, a bomb counting down. Around him, the feast roared on. Laughter, clinking, boasts of conquest. And in the cups, a slumbering death they had all toasted. A single captain coughed, a rough, ragged sound. Then another. The laughter around the main table began to thin. A retainer's cup clattered to the floor, sake pooling beside a face already turning violet. Dishes crashed as a guest pitched forward. The air split with the first scream. Kazuya shot to his feet, the golden goblet slipping from his fingers, his face shifting from confusion to dawning horror.
The cramps begin in the belly, then climb. He feels it now. The same cold I tasted 300 years ago.
Purple veins streaked the necks of the foreign general's officers. One by one, they clawed at their collars.
20 years. Every scrubbed floor, every bowed head, repaid in the space of a breath.
Servants scattered, chairs overturned. The feast had become a field of bodies.
What? What is this? This is poison. Who?
And in the corner, the quiet servant tilted his head, his hidden eye now blazing open for the world to see.
Do you not recognize the taste, Kazuya? 300 years ago, you gave it to me at my coronation.
Sota stepped forward, shedding the hunched posture of a servant, like a discarded cloak. His voice carried the weight of an empire.
You, that voice, the demon mark, it can't be.
I was the demon lord of the Eastern Underworld. You and your 6 traitors murdered me at my own celebration. Now, I return the favor.
Behind Sauta, The ghostly silhouette of the demon lord materialized, a towering specter of armor and violet flame.
Every cup I poured tonight was a toast to your death. Enjoy it, General. It's the last banquet you'll ever host.
The boy, all this time, serving me, waiting.
Waiting. Yes. Polishing your floors, memorizing your patrols, smiling when you praised my refinement. I have been patient, Kazuya.
Kazuya clawed at his collar, purple veins crawling up his neck, his eyes wide with terror, locked onto the servant who was no servant at all.
You killed a demon, Lord. But you forgot to kill the demon.
You always overlooked the quiet ones, Kazuya. I recommended him for this estate 20 years ago.
The bodies of the foreign general and his men lay still. The poison had run its full course, sparing no one who toasted the false victory.
I am Yuriko, once the Demon Lord's concubine, reborn to serve his vengeance. You thought you killed us both.
The maid master and that boy, both of you.
Every scrubbed floor, every bowed head, every cup I arranged for 20 years led to this banquet.
Suta stood beside her, the violet silhouette still flickering behind them, like a second shadow.
I am a general. I will not die like a poisoned rat.
You will die exactly as you killed him at your own celebration, surrounded by everything you thought you owned.
Look around you, Kazuya. Every man who laughed with you is already gone.
The hall fell silent, save for Kazuya's labored breathing. 2 lifetimes of vengeance now stood shoulder to shoulder, watching the youngest general die alone.
This is how you murdered me, Kazuya. A colorless cup, a crowded hall, and not one ally reaching to save you. Just as you watched me die.
Kazuya's hands clawed uselessly at the tatami, his throat sealed by a swelling that no healer could undo. His screams had become wet, strangled clicks. His body jerked once, then slumped, the arrogant light draining from his eyes forever. The youngest general was gone.
300 years of waiting, and your death lasted barely 3 minutes. I expected more suffering.
Suta looked down at the corpse, his expression blank. The demon lord within watched through the servant's violet eye.
Now your territory will rot, just as you left mine to rot. A fitting end for a traitor.
The screen began to darken, shadows swallowing the banquet hall from every side. Lanterns flickered and died. In the center of the blackness, a single violet eye remained open, the triangular mark burning steadily. The silence was absolute. System alert. Demon, Lord Revenge, first target eliminated. The blackness held for a long moment, and then nothing. The estate gates opened into silence. No guards remained to challenge the 2 dark figures passing through. Suta had shed his servant's kimono for a dark traveling cloak, but the violet eye still burned beneath his hood.
Shall we go, my lord?
Behind them, the banquet hall lay frozen in its last grotesque tableau. No one would disturb it until dawn.
Yes, the mountain has held us long enough.
He did not look back. Neither did she. Their footsteps were the only sound on the mountain path, a quiet rhythm that spoke no words and needed none. Side by side, the demon lord and his concubine vanished into the forest, their long wait finally over. The mountain estate remained behind them, silent and heavy with its dead, and on the wind, a single violet spark drifted upward, burning for a moment before the night swallowed it whole. The forest closed around them, and at last Suta stopped, lowering his hood.
No more waiting. No more masks.
The violet eye flickered, its glacial fire softening for the first time in 300 years. A single tear slid down his cheek. Not grief, but the weight of an empire finally put down. The demon mark dissolved, leaving only the gentle darkness of a young man who had fulfilled his vow. He let the eyelid fall, and the violet light went out. Silence wrapped the forest. Beside him, Yuriko stood without a word, her own quiet tears mirroring his. No words passed between them. None were needed. The night deepened, and the world faded gently to black. And for the first time in 2 lifetimes, the demon lord rested.